Hello, it's Paul, and I'm reporting from my little garden. We've had a lot of rain the last few days, and it's been a blessing because I've taken a break from working in the garden and tried to do some yoga to heal the stresses of all the construction work that I've been doing, which is now done. So I'll show you that in a minute. But so again, this is my chard and lettuce and collard greens on the left here, and on the right I have gooseberries that are gonna make it. They're doing good. I have irrigation hose underneath the straw there. Yeah, they're doing good. And I got my blackberries in. So this is going to be my berry patch over here, and I'm getting a little aggressive with the blackberry, planting them closer than they recommend. But I think if I prune them appropriately, I can sculpt them to fit into the area. And I've really been enjoying lettuce salads. Fresh lettuce, really great. Hardly needs any dressing, and I've been putting a lot of collard greens on there too. And I'm looking forward to getting the kale. So here I got my calendula and chamomile and rosemary here, and I might put another herb or two down here. And in the tube tunnel is cauliflower and cabbage, and it's doing great. Again, the fence here is going to be melons and cucumbers and squash. Just waiting for things to warm up a little bit, but those seedlings are going now in the house under my grow lights, so I will have some seedlings to put in here probably in a week or two at the most. And so here we come to the backyard, and the garden construction is complete, and I'm really happy. It was very taxing physically. My hands and arms and back, legs, everything got really kind of sore and tired at the end there, but I did get her done. And recycled some land and stone that was buried in the front yard, which is now in paths here. I recycled all the stone and pavers I used for one thing or another here, so there was very little waste. Yeah, I have green zucchini and yellow zucchini planted around these compost bins, and plenty of room to put some other things in. Some herbs, some basil, some parsley, some cilantro, oregano. I've got some seedlings started, and I'm gonna play with this area too. I'm not exactly sure what I'm gonna put in here, but I've got another little triangle here that is ready for planting. And in my patio garden, I've got onions going there, and spinach is coming up in the back by the air conditioner there. It's doing great. It's starting to come out. And I'm gonna put some mustard greens and chard and lettuce in the area between the spinach on the end there and the onions in the front. And my rhubarb's doing fantastic. And the next box over is going to be peppers. And I've got some more. I've got broccoli and Brussels sprouts and cauliflower and cabbage going underneath that tube house there. And my strawberries are doing great. They're starting to flower. And I had to put this little cage up because some critters are getting in there and digging around. And back here, I just planted a batch of kale, two different kinds of kale, curly kale and a Toscana kale. And I'm going to put a tube tunnel over this kale as well, because there's a black jumping beetle that just decimated my kale last year, and I know they're going to come again. So I'm gonna put a hoop tunnel over these. I'm gonna do it tomorrow. And these are my pea trellises, and my peas are starting to come up. They're starting to break through, so it's gonna. I don't know if they're gonna get as tall as I've got. I'm optimistic here with the height of my pea trellis. We'll see what happens. And over here is going to be bush beans and pole beans, and I'm going to put a trellis up for the pole beans as well. And this whole back box is going to be tomatoes. I think I'm going to get at least 5 tomatoes in there, maybe 6. So I'm swinging over to the east garden, I think I'll call it. Got my potato seeds down, and a row of red and a row of Yukon Gold. and it's been really wet. I'm hedging my bets. I bought another set of seed potatoes for both the red and the Yukon, just in case these don't come in. I'll have another batch of seed potatoes to get in the ground before it gets too late. And so, you know, I've never grown potatoes before, so we'll see how that goes. In here I have 3 different kinds of beets, and the next box over is 4 different kinds of carrots. This box is going to be sweet potatoes. They'll be here at the end of the month. And in these next 2 boxes I have asparagus, and it is coming up. Mary Washington, I think it's called. And they're breaking through, so I'm gonna fill in around the asparagus as it progresses and mound it up. And one last thing here I want to show you in the back garden. Here, I put the straw down to keep the weeds down. So here is my back garden box. Sorry. And I have corn in here, and I've never grown corn before. And I know it's early, but I put the seeds in underneath my grow lights such that they were ready to get put in the ground. I had to get them out of from under the grow lights and into the soil here. So I hope the soil is warm enough to support these seedlings. And I expect that as soon as they get a little taller, they're gonna be starting to get that afternoon sun. As soon as they get up a little, you know, obviously 3 or 4 feet at least, they'll start getting more and more sun as the season progresses. And I'm going to put some melon and squash down in here to keep the feet of the corn cool and shaded and keep the weeds out. And I'm also going to trellis those the melons and squash up onto my neighbor's garage roof. And over here I'm going to create some type of structure and get them up over my gate and up onto my roof as well. So I'll have vegetables growing on the rooftops up there. So that's it for today.